This is a list of some of the worst and cruel murderers for each month throughout the year. You will see that most of these murderers have no regard for human life and have no problem killing. On June 6, 2021, a North Carolina prosecutor has said she will seek the death penalty for a woman charged with killing her adopted 5-year-old son. Kimberly Monique Smith, 37, is charged with first-degree murder in the June 6, 2021 death of 5-year-old Kendall Marquise Smith. She is also charged with felony intentional child abuse, inflicting serious bodily injury in connection to Kendall's 6-year-old brother, according to court records. Assistant District Attorney Belinda Foster said in Forsyth Superior Court that she wanted to have the case declared capital, describing the boy's death as especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel. The Winston-Salem Journal reported, a judge ordered that Smith be assigned a second attorney, as required under state law. Winston-Salem police officers went to Kimberly Smith's home at 9:49 p.m. on June 6, along with emergency medical technicians. After getting a 911 call about an unresponsive child, the officer found Smith's friend performing CPR on Kendall in a bedroom. The boy was pronounced dead at a local hospital. Two teens in custody in Detroit triple murder are an investigation that included a 5-year-old boy. Detroit police say they have 2 suspects in custody following a triple homicide investigation at a West Side home that included the murder of a 5-year-old child. 2 male juveniles, ages 16 and 17, were arrested Monday, said Detroit Police Commander Michael McGinnis. The suspects were known to the victims, police said. However, authorities are still working to determine a motive behind the murders. This case, like so many others, has tugged at the heart and spirit of this department, Detroit Police Chief James White said. 2 teens, 16 and 17, arrested in connection to triple murder that included 5-year-old. The Detroit Police Department announced on Tuesday that 2 teenagers have been arrested in the tragic shooting death of 3 people, including a 5-year-old boy. Police were originally called to the 15,300 block of Evergreen in Detroit Sunday afternoon after family said they found a dead loved one. An investigation later uncovered the discovery of 3 bodies, a 28-year-old woman, her 32-year-old boyfriend, and her 5-year-old son Caleb. According to Detroit police, a family member hadn't heard from Caleb or his mother, LaShawn Marshall, and went to the home to check on them. The suspects were in the neighborhood when they were arrested. The investigation remains a fluid one. However, police plan to submit a review to the prosecutor in the coming days. Every resource we have is going to be dedicated to pursuing and apprehending the person that murdered this baby and the people in this home, White said on Sunday. Seeing his pictures now, I'm just lost. I'm devastated. And to know some of the details of what happened is just devastating to me and my son, said Shalisa Floyd, Caleb's paternal grandmother. Police thanked the community for tips that eventually lead to the suspect's arrest. They were taken into custody without incident. We have high confidence the individuals are responsible for this heinous act, said McGinnis. Travion Tatum, man out on bond for murder charged with murder again. Crystal Johnson wiped away tears when she talked about her son, 19-year-old Andreas Patterson. It's very emotional every day. It's like a roller coaster up and down. I have good days and bad days and horrible days, said Crystal Johnson, Andreas Patterson's mother. She said her son was so loving and kind. He loved basketball and fishing, and his friends adored him. But Andreas was shot and killed in 2019. Travion Tatum, 20, is charged with his murder. Johnson said Tatum tried to rob her son and ended up shooting him several times in the back. This is actually the first time we celebrated Christmas since then, and I still couldn't celebrate, said Johnson. Tatum was arrested and posted a $50,000 bond. 6 months later, he was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for pointing a rifle at 2 women. Harris County District Attorney asked for no bail. Even with several bond violations, a judge granted bond again. I've asked every time we go to court. I've asked to revoke his bond, said Johnson. Tatum was just arrested for another murder. Prosecutor said he shot and killed John Kelly on February 8. According to court records, more than 40 shots were fired on the 800 block of Dunson Glen, killing Kelly. I just hate that another family has to lose a loved one, because the justice system didn't do what they should have done in the beginning, said Johnson. The Harris County District Attorney released the following statement to KPRC2. We asked for no bond on the aggravated assault charge, and for his murder bond to be revoked. It's all documented. KPRC2 reached out to Harris County Judge Joshua Hill's courtroom and spoke to his coordinator. The coordinator said over the phone, "The judge cannot answer questions about the case. The next hearing is scheduled for Friday, and you are more than welcome to attend that hearing." Tatum is now behind bars. His bond has been revoked. He is due back in court on Friday, February 25th. Florida woman charged with murder after allegedly stabbing her husband 140 times. Joan Burke, a Florida woman accused of stabbing her husband more than 140 times, has been charged with first-degree murder, police said. Joan Burke, 61, of Palm Springs, was held without bond on Sunday, according to NBC affiliate WPTV of West Palm Beach. Ricardo Green, 41, called authorities on February 11th to say that he came home from work and found his stepfather, Melvin Weller, 62, lying on the floor in a pool of blood, the news station reported. Weller also had a skull fracture caused by a blow from a meat cleaver to the right rear area of his head, Palm Springs police said. An autopsy revealed the victim suffered more than 140 stab wounds, and officers noticed blood spatters and smears on the walls, kitchen cabinets, and counters. A couple of knives and a meat cleaver were in the kitchen sink, according to police. Officers found Burke, the victim's wife, lying in the master bedroom, where she was conscious but quiet, police said. She was taken to a hospital for observation. Investigators found cleaning tools on the floor near the victim's body, WPTV reported. They also said the numerous injuries to his body, coupled with the blood, stains cast, or otherwise spread on the walls, ceiling, counters, and cabinets, made it obvious a violent struggle had occurred, according to the news station. A tied-up plastic bag was located on the kitchen countertop containing Burke's blood-stained nightgown and a cell phone, police said. The motive for the stabbing was unclear Monday, and attorney information for Burke was unavailable. Franklin, VA. The jury reached a verdict in the murder trial of Wesley Hadsell on Monday afternoon. They found him guilty of his two remaining charges, first-degree murder and concealment of a body, in the death of his adopted stepdaughter, AJ. Jurors went into deliberations late Monday. It took only 45 minutes for them to bring back the verdict. Hadsell was accused of killing 18-year-old Angelica AJ Hadsell back in 2015, while she was on spring break from Longwood University. Her body was found about a month later, at an abandoned home in South Anton County, after investigators used GPS in Hadsell's work van. The medical examiner ruled AJ died due to homicidal violence and acute heroin poisoning. The trial began almost 3 weeks ago. During that time, both sides presented a lot of evidence. The main piece of evidence tying Hadsell to the case is that police found AJ's body by following the GPS history on Hadsell's work van from the days following AJ's disappearance. The prosecution repeatedly raised the questions: why did Hadsell have the body if he didn't kill her? And why would he dump her behind an abandoned home, face down in mud under a piece of plywood, if he wasn't covering up a crime? The evidence surrounding the first-degree murder charge is largely circumstantial. The defense argued it was not enough, but as the trial went on, the evidence piled up. For example, Hadsell and AJ's phones were tracking together via satellite pings on the day she went missing. The defense's main theory was that AJ was suicidal and killed herself by overdosing on the antidepressant medication she was prescribed to help with her migraines. The medical examiner never checked for that drug, nortriptyline, in AJ's system. Officials concluded with a high level of certainty AJ died from heroin poisoning, since the toxicology reports showed she had triple the lethal dose of heroin in her system. AJ's hair analysis showed she had no history of drug use. The defense pointed to AJ's state of mind around the time she died. She was going through a breakup, and her phone had sad suicide-themed memes and photos saved. The Commonwealth called the suicide theory absurd when Wavy News spoke with Hadsell's defense lawyer last Friday. He said that if there was a conviction on the first-degree murder charge, he planned to immediately make a motion for the judge to set aside the verdict, maintaining there isn't enough evidence to convict Hadsell on the murder charge. Monday was the first day many of AJ's friends and family members were allowed in the courtroom. AJ's family immediately broke into tears when the guilty verdict was announced. This is the outcome they have been waiting almost 7 years to hear. We spoke briefly off camera with some members of AJ's family after the verdict came down. They said they're thankful to police and prosecutors for this justice of sorts for AJ. Hadsell also faced a second-degree murder charge, but after the close of evidence on Friday, the defense asked the judge to drop that charge, saying the Commonwealth didn't prove it. The Commonwealth's attorney and judge agreed. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, because I will be posting content like this on a normal basis.